Good day everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss what is multigrade, its concept, its history, its pros and cons, and the Philippine laws and DepEd orders about multigrade. According to Mrs. Imelda Montalbo, a multi-grade student teaching mentor at Cebu Normal University, stated that the instruction of multi-grade is beneficial since most teachers will teach in remote areas. It will also provide a good teaching experience and prepare student interns not just for monograde. She said that many teachers who have undergone multi-grade internship have expressed their gratitude after being assigned in far-flung or mountainous areas. So, what is multigrade? Judith E. Tanael in the year 2011 said that a multigrade is defined as a class composed of two or more grades less than one teacher in a complete or incomplete elementary school. Based on the 2019 review of current situation and practices of multi-grade schools in the Philippines, there are 8,379 multi-grade schools out of 38,911 public schools in the Philippines. In Region 7, there are 405 multi-grade schools. Now, to elaborate more what is multi-grade, I'm going to discuss its concept. But first, I'm going to ask you a question. Will a teacher not hold class if there are just few enrollees? Or should a student drop out if the school is far from home or there is not enough teachers and classroom? Of course, all of you will have different response based on your point of view. But if you ask the Department of Education, the answer is firmly no, because it continues to find ways to bring children to school in order to complete their basic education. One of these is the holding of multi-grade classes. A multi-grade class consists of two or more different grade levels inside a single grade classroom handled by one teacher for an entire school year. It is offered in elementary schools located in distant and sparsely populated localities. Education Secretary Armen Luestro said most of the students attending multi-grade classes are learners who belong to isolated and financially challenged communities, are indigenous people, and reside in far-flung mountains and islands where schools are far apart from each other. So, in the Philippine public school system, classes with three grade levels conducted in one classroom and handled by a single teacher are called a multi-grade or multi-level class. This means that children with different skills and abilities, developmental levels, and needs are mixed in a class and work together under the guidance of one teacher. So when was this system introduced in the Philippine setting? According to Judith E. Tanael in the year 2011 said that the multi-grade system has been implemented since 1920s. Although the formal multi-grade program in the Philippine Education or the MPPE was launched in the year 1993. It has always been covered by policies and monograde class organization which resulted in multi-grade classes. The multi-grade system has been with us for quite some time, but it is very obvious that we have not regarded it as a very viable and alternative delivery system to provide access to basic education as well as quality education by providing complete grade levels in all public elementary schools. While DECS or now known as DepEd officials then had always recognized the existence of multi-grade classes. It was only under the leadership of Secretary Armand Fabella in the year 1993 and 1994 that the multi-grade program was launched as a systematic and viable means of meeting the goal and providing education for all. Moreover, the pros and cons or the advantages and disadvantages of multi-grade teaching are the following. First, the advantages. Number 1, student-teacher relationship. A single teacher or the group of teachers responsible for the multi-grade classroom typically stays with the same students until they graduate to the next level. This garners the opportunity for the students to work with the same teachers for several years instead of having to meet new teachers at the beginning of each school year. Number 2, there will be a less effort for teachers and less money to spend in preparing visual aids because the teacher can utilize the visual aids for the entire class of multigrade. Number 3, The students will develop socializing skills because they will be dealing and interacting with their classmates from a higher or lower grade level than them. Number 4, the students, especially those at lower level, will learn advanced topics. Now the disadvantages or the cons of multigrade. Number 1, multigrade system is difficult to implement in large schools with heavy population. Number 2, textbooks in use for teaching only meet the need of monograde teaching. Number 3, some students, especially the higher grade level, may not be listening to the teacher while discussing because they may already know the topic. Number 4, the teacher will have a hard time in designing and creating activities for multigrade class. Now let's proceed to the Philippine laws and DepEd orders about multigrade. The Department of Education Order Number 81 in the year 2009, strengthening the implementation of multigrade program in the Philippine education, stated that the multigrade education is one of the department's strategies to provide access to quality education for all school-aged children in remote communities where enrollment does not warrant the organization of monograde classes. And the Department of Education Order Number 96 in the year 1997, policies and guidelines in the organization and operation of multigrade classes, is under the pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution that the state shall protect and promote the rights of all citizens to quality education at all levels and take appropriate steps to make education accessible to all. It is a declared policy of the DECS or DepEd to build a school in schoolless barangays where enrollment and population growth trends warrant the establishment of new schools and to organize multi-grade classes to offer the complete 6 grade levels to children in remote barangays.